All right, guys, Dr. Holly here. This is the video number 5 in my series of my newest startup story. So let's jump right in. If you've been following along, I've been chatting, about all of these major categories right here. Of course, there are a lot of details, and I almost always tend to run over my 5 minutes with you guys, but I appreciate you being along for the ride. And I appreciate those of you who reached out to me, maybe have seen on social media or just been seeing my little tidbits that I share in my newsletter about this process, and you wanted some more details. So it was a good reminder to me to, document a little bit more about what's going on and, and be able to share my story with all of you. So today I'm going to be catching up on how I found this exact space and then how I was able to open essentially for business within 3 weeks. So this listing, my real estate agent found. I did not find this place. It is a small office complex. There are 3 or 4 brick buildings in here, and I think only 9 businesses are in this little office park. So it's a mix. There is, I think, a therapist. There's a wellness center. There's a financial advisor, etc. There's a massage therapist is in here, and there is a builder office here, like a construction site, but just their office. So we found this space. We walked in. It was previously occupied by an accountant. And so he was actually still in the building when I came to see it that last week in July. So came in and it was just full to the brim with accountant stuff. Okay, you can imagine. Lots of paper, lots of file cabinets, etc. But I could immediately see the potential. Okay, I could immediately see that this was a nice, quiet setting. It does not, unfortunately, have much foot traffic besides just the other little businesses that are back here. It is right on the main road, but we are a little bit hard to find because we're tucked back a little bit. We're not right on the main drag through town. So I knew that the visibility part that was going to be very important to me was not going to be as high as the other locations that I had looked at. But I knew that, this is a very professional space, and I felt like the space and the price was right for me starting up a business. So you all know I'm also a certified Profit First professional. Profit First is all about your business growing in stages and prioritizing paying you, making a profit, saving for your taxes before you let your expenses or your overhead over encompass everything and eat all the cash in your business. Okay. So obviously I have that in mind. I've been practicing Profit First methodology for almost the last 6 or 7 years. So, and I'm seeing, a lot of costs, a lot of businesses that I consult on where, things are just, getting out of hand. Okay. So I knew very much that I did not want to bite off more than I could chew. So I saw this space. It's 2 rooms, a bathroom, and it's just me. It's just space for me. It's space for exactly what I need. So I practice chiropractic, obviously, and acupuncture. I knew I wanted a dedicated space for the acupuncture. And so when I envisioned it, I came through with the real estate agent. I really liked it. I liked the price, and they were offering a 2-year lease. So I thought this is a really great place to start my business, build up some clientele. And then if I want to go out and do a bigger build out project and be more in a medical office park closer to the hospital, something like that, then I could figure that out in the next 2 years as I'm building up my business. Okay. Or I could just stay here because I can make a really profitable business with low overhead. Okay. So, the accountant was going to be moving out. And so I came back, I think my husband came back and saw the space when it was still occupied. He's very meticulous with doing plans and things like that. So he walked around with a measuring tape and a little notebook and did a whole schematic to see okay, it is small, but are we actually going to be able to get in here what I want to get in here? Because we sold a practice in 2018. We retained quite a bit of equipment from that. So I have 2 full acupuncture suites that I can outfit, a chiropractic space, some rehab stuff. Obviously desks and waiting room furniture and things like that need to be in here. So, I needed to know it was actually going to be functional. We thought for a little while I was actually going to close in the second room because it does have an exterior door. This is the room I'm sitting in right now. That's the exterior door where you actually enter the building, and my chiro table is directly behind me right now. So we thought we might close in this room and make a dedicated waiting room space. But again, it's very simple, just throwing up one wall, but, just messing with contractors right now, I didn't absolutely need it. I was only seeing a handful of house call patients that I was going to be transitioning. At this point in time, it's nobody's going to be overlapping, so I have space for waiting room area, but I did not feel for just the way that I practice that, it was going to be an intrusion to go ahead, just move everything in and go ahead and get started. So what did we do? We had to clean this place. So, obviously the accountant moved out. It was a blank slate. The walls were painted, nice neutral gray, just some scuffs along in some places. I could have made it work without it, but I really just wanted to, spruce it up, make it my colors. And so we took on that project with my husband working full time and us having kids because it was still summertime. Took us about a week to come in here, clean everything, scrub the floors, dust everything, paint the walls. So, picked my, I think this is called either sea glass or tile glass color. We did the white on the bottom. And yeah, we just painted it and then we started to move in. So I had most of my stuff stored in the storage unit. So we made a few trips back and forth to the storage unit. Couldn't find some tables for a little while. There was a little moment of panic, but pretty much got moved in. And we actually already had planned to take a week off in August and go to Florida, which is my hometown. So we did a week of painting. We took a week off. We pretty much came back and did a week of moving in and finishing up and whatever. And that's how I opened my business in 3 weeks from starting my lease date. Now, of course, I already had everything that I needed. Okay. So obviously that sped up the timeline for, I really just needed the space. I already had all my equipment and everything to be able to move in, but that's how you do it. That's how you open a practice in somewhere between 3 to 6 weeks, however you want to measure it and manage it. And of course, if you go back and you listen to, the full series, you'll see my timeline from decision point to move here to the state, when I got licensed, when I decided to make my entity and when I decided to go ahead and open up my practice and start getting serious about looking for real estate. So that's it. 5-Minute Friday this week. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's something I did not cover, I guess one of the biggest things that I have not covered yet, which is more specific on the numbers, would be, how I've decided to do my pricing and, payments and just engaging with patients, and then how it's been to actually, start to accept patients in this space. So the series will go on. We'll do a week 6.